I'm Elizabeth Reese.
I'm Marjorie Potter.
And this is Best to the Nest, the podcast that's all about creating strong, comfortable, beautiful nests that prepare us to fly. Or, in today's case, prepare us to sail. Marjorie Punnett, where are you?
I am approaching Cabo San Lucas. I'm in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. It's beautiful, obviously. But Elizabeth, I got to tell you, so we booked this cruise ages ago. During COVID, I mean, we were still in COVID, and Delta was raging, but we were sure was going to be the end of COVID. As every wave we think, of course, this is going to be the end of it. So we booked it, and as Omicron approached, we kept looking at each other like, do we do this? Do we not do this? And we're fully vaccinated and boosted and all of that. And it's the only way you can get on the ship is if you're vaccinated and boosted. So like 2 days before, like, we're like, okay, we're just going to do this. I mean, why not? I mean, our children are grown. We can take this. Let me just say this. This is Best to the Nest.
Yeah.
Everybody makes their own choices about their nest. We may have made a stupid choice in our nest by going on this cruise.
I don't know.
And 2 days before, Fauci released no cruises. Nobody should be on cruises. And that was like 2 days before we were supposed to leave. So we were just looking at each other, and we went to dinner with a friend in LA outside. We were all sitting outside, and she's just looking at the two of us like, what the hell is wrong with you two? Because the whole world is telling you you're stupid. Like, the whole world is telling you. But I've got to say, it's a beautiful cruise, and we had to take a COVID test before we could get on the ship.
For sure.
So
yeah.
in order to, so there's a whole lab set up. And then they have this huge projector, Elizabeth, with your number. And if your number pops up, you don't have COVID and you can get on the ship. You get a band and you can get on the ship.
Okay. So you wait, you watch for your number, and it feels like some sort of lottery ticket, or like you're getting into a club.
It's so bizarre, Elizabeth. So we're standing there watching, and they'll come out and they'll scream for numbers. And like, you're not sure, like, most of the time they're screaming for numbers because the person's not listening and they are negative, so they can get their wristband. So we're sitting kind of far away from, more than 6 feet for sure. Mm-hmm. They scream out this number, and like this 12-year-old boy raises his ticket because he thinks he's like won something. He's with his parents. Oh. They quietly take this family like off and then into some back room. So he was clearly, I mean, I think he was positive.
Oh,
and
no.
So I know, but it was so bizarre to watch this whole scene. And of course, everybody's masked, but it was such a bizarre scene to be a part of. So we're standing looking for the numbers, and mine comes up. Within 20 minutes, mine comes up, I'm negative. But Ian's doesn't, and doesn't, and
right.
doesn't.
So then you're waiting.
So he's looking at you like, oh my God. I because of course I'm going to go without him. If he's positive, too bad for him. I'm on the ship. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Good. So I'm like, dude, whatever happens, we're going to be fine. I mean, if for some reason,
it's all for one and one for all.
Yeah, if some reason he's positive, we'll find an Airbnb somewhere, and I'll nurse you back to health, and we'll still be in Los Angeles. It'll be fine. But it all worked out, and he was negative, I was negative, and so we're on the ship. But it is a weird, and I think COVID sort of, in so many ways, every decision that you make is such a personal family decision, whether to travel or not. I mean, I've been making weird decisions all the way through COVID. I was commuting from Arizona in March 2020 to try and get to my husband.
That's the point that you get to where you can't, some people might say that a cruise is reckless. Some people think going to the grocery store is reckless. Some people think not encountering anyone socially for 2 years is reckless for your mental health. I mean, you have to really you are never going to make a statement about doing something at this point that is going to be pleasing to everyone, Fauci included. It's just not. It's not going to happen.
Well, I know how Fauci feels about me. He feels that I'm stupid. Well, so I'm okay with that.
Can't imagine what he thinks about me. Oh, gosh.
I'm stupid. So anyway, so we're on a cruise. It's just the two of us. I think it's the first time in a very long time that the two of us have traveled alone without our boys. And I love our children, but it's really kind of a a long delayed empty nester kind of trip. And so
Like an
we're
empty
having a
nest
really nice
moon.
time.
This is good. That's a really good idea. Everyone should probably do that. When their kids go off at some point, you should take a trip, the two of you, and kind of have it be like a honeymoon for this next phase of your life. Because, a lot of people do
Yeah.
a baby moon, Marjorie. I don't know if you ever did that, but we did that before we had Bernie. We did a trip to Canada, and it was so fun and so wonderful. And it's just sort of
Right.
that like cementing of what you already have, and then just like excited about what your new life is going to look like.
Yeah. And I think for the two of us too, we were in a commuter marriage for a lot of years after the
Yes.
boys went off to college. And so this was like me finally moving. And we were going to do something like this in 2020 when I finally moved and we lived in the same house consistently.
Mm-hmm.
And then COVID hit. And so it feels really right and good. And I will tell you, I am not encouraging anybody to take a cruise. Do whatever you all want, people. Your nest is your nest. But I will say this, we're on a Norwegian cruise line. I will say this, the ship is at half capacity.
Oh, that's great.
So, and you can feel it everywhere. You
Yeah.
can feel that it's not crowded. So
do you have to wear
every
your
time we've
mask in
gone
there now, even though everyone tested negative?
Yep. So, and everybody's adhering to it. So unless you're outside, like sitting, but people are sort of naturally social distancing because there's space.
Yeah.
There's so much space on the ship. I think it's like 5,000 people could be on the ship, and there's 2,000.
Oh, that's great.
So yeah, so it's everybody sort of naturally spacing. We haven't sat when they seat us for dinner, like last night they sat us for dinner. Nobody was near us, in one of the nicer dining restaurants. And so that's been a really interesting, and I got a pass to the thermal spa.
Yeah, way to
and
go.
they sort of cut the amount of passes that they would even sell. So I was up there, we were up in the hot tub by ourselves.
Oh, great.
Nobody else was in it. Yeah, so it's been really.
That's how you want to be
really,
anyway, though. I don't like to be in hot tubs with strangers. It's very uncomfortable.
I don't.
A hot tub is not for a place with people you don't know. No, it's weird.
No.
You accidentally bump toes or feet or something. I'm not here for it.
Yeah, so I was just bumping toes with my husband, and that's fine. I'm very comfortable with that.
That's totally fine.
Anyway.
This is amazing. This is really incredible that you are on this podcast from a cruise ship in the ocean.
I know. It's we can do this anywhere we are for the rest of our lives, Elizabeth. You'll be like 65, and I'll be, how many years older am I than you? Like 17, 15,
yeah, something
20?
like that.
I don't want to think about it.
Yeah.
I'll be like 80.
Yep.
And we'll be doing the podcast. So we'll be doing Best to the Nest with, like, I'll have great grandchildren. You'll have grandchildren.
Oh my gosh.
So anyway, it'll be very exciting. But yeah, so we're having a really, really nice time. We're staying really safe. We both tested negative. So everything's quite lovely. And
yeah,
it was fun
that's
to be,
great.
It was interesting. We left from LA. And so I had gone down to Manhattan Beach just to go walk, just to get my workout in. And just to be on the ocean, and I'm not an ocean person. I'm from the Midwest. I mean, but it felt really free.
Yeah, it's restorative.
Like, you just forget how oppressive COVID's been.
Mm-hmm.
And I just felt like it was just beautiful. So it's been a good thing. But let's talk about the holidays.
Oh,
We've got some interesting stories going on here. How was your holiday?
I know, it was good. We just got the kids back to school today, and it was it's a long time of togetherness with all this. I did text my mom and my sisters the other day, and I just said, my house is starting to feel a bit like a prison in here. And I think because it got super cold towards the end too. Like, I mean,
Right.
Yesterday it was 20 below. One of the cars won't start, that these are just like hashtag Minnesota problems that happened.
Right.
And it's a lot of celebration. So I also sent a text at the end of last night because Bernie, as we're recording this, Bernie had just turned 7 yesterday. It was her 7th birthday.
Sweet.
So
that's amazing.
Yeah, I know, she's 7. So, we do Christmas with both families. We do, then Christmas with just us. And then we have, some other little friend gatherings. And then we do, then we have New Year's Eve, and then we have New Year's Day, which is also Jay's birthday. And then the January 2nd is Bernie's birthday. And so by yesterday I said, I do not want to celebrate anything or anyone again for a long time. Like I am celebrated out, because here's the
Out.
thing about being the
That's a
mom,
lot.
when you're a mom, it's like, there's a lot of the celebration logistics that fall on my shoulders of just managing and figuring it out and thinking about it and like making sure we have enough gifts and all of that stuff. And it's
Right.
a lot of work for both of us. I mean, Jay's running around getting cake yesterday, and we're trying to do lunch, and we're just doing all these things. And so I am very happy to be done celebrating, while also happy with some sweet memories. Like Bernie and I yesterday went and I surprised her. I said, I want to do a Mama Bernie outing on her birthday in the morning. And so I
Oh,
surprised her, and we went and got mani-pedis at our little place. And it was
oh,
just so sweet. Like, she was so excited. And then we picked out colors together, and then we were talking while we were there, and talking in the car on the way there. And the whole night before, she just kept saying, I just can't believe that tomorrow I'm going to wake up and I'm going to be 7. I'm going to be 7.
oh,
And it was just
oh,
the sweetest thing. There is something about like that age
oh,
of
I
little
love
girls.
that.
I mean, I think little boys too, but obviously I've never had a 7-year-old boy. I've only had a 7-year-old girl, but she is just
Right.
like so filled with joy and delight. And the idea of getting 1 year older is just so like unfathomably exciting for her. Like, she just can't even believe how exciting it is to get 1 year older. And then, of course,
Okay.
I posted these pictures. I don't know if you saw them, Marjorie, on Instagram, but I posted
I
this sort of
did.
like look back at her life, and I come upstairs and I showed Jay, and I was like, hey, let me show you what these pictures. And I was like, you ready to start crying? I said, it's like, you just start
Oh,
scrolling through, and it's not necessarily that I look back and go, oh my gosh, I wish she was that small again. It's not that. It's just, I look back and go, I just like can't believe that I get to like be here for this life of hers. Like, I just love being here with her. I don't know. She's a little joy. She's
no,
a
no,
joy.
no. She is a joy. I mean, she's just, when I came and stayed with you for the Minnesota State Fair, one of the things I noticed about her, because she's very much like her mama, was that she's game. Like, she's just game for it,
Yeah.
And I mean, we took your two little ones. I mean, it was before Heathcliff to the fair, and they were extraordinary. I mean, anybody with young kids knows how hard it is to have a full day somewhere. I'm going to sneeze. Hold on. There's going to be no editing on this one. So
Yeah. And
everybody
don't
can
let
say,
anyone on that
everybody can
cruise
say,
ship hear that you just did that. You'll get kicked to throw you off. They'll put you in a tugboat, send you back.
exactly. And I'll have to, like, they'll just tug me along the
I
whole
know.
way.
Here's a paddle. Best of luck.
There's a pedal. But she was just game. And I think there's an optimism and just a foundational, just being around her, there was a foundational feeling that life is good. Like, that's what the sense I got from her.
Yeah.
Like, she was a joy to be around, and I can't wait to see her again, someday soon. But those
She is.
pictures were adorable.
She is a joy. She also like feels
Yep.
all the feelings. So she's, that day, I mean, you definitely get them on their best behavior. Like, I remember that weekend when you stayed, and then after you left, I was like, oh man, Marjorie should come back, because they're way better behaved when she's here. Your kids
They
are
were,
like
I thought,
so much fun when other people are around, and then it's just you, and
oh my God.
they're like, this is the worst. I hate everything. Ah. My children are no different.
Well, well, my children,
They put
it's
on a good
Christmas,
show.
so yeah. Oh, well, mine, I love my boys, but it was so bizarre, Elizabeth. So remember, I think it was in the last podcast, or maybe two podcasts ago, I was talking about how we never really did, like, the boys really didn't do presents for us at Christmas.
Right.
I would have them make me something. And then we would be kind of minimalistic in what we gave them. So that tradition continued. Campbell wrote me, he did this year. I can't remember what Gar did. I'm going to have to look and see what he did for me for Christmas. I can't remember. Campbell wrote just a great essay for me. And then he read it to me, and it was great. And I loved that. So I got an essay from Campbell. And Gar, I'm so sorry, I can't remember what you did. But I gave them they'd both asked for body oils because they were always stealing mine growing up. So I have like Burt's Bees vitamin E oil and they steal it from me.
Yeah.
And so like, can we just get oils? So I think, okay, like Burt's Bees is like $8. Like I can do better than that. Like I can get you. So I found this company called The Ordinary, which is a very transparent sort of face cream, face oils kind of company, which, has eco-friendly packaging and all of the things that both of my sons are super concerned about. So I like, companies seem good. So I get them, you put in like their skin type, and then they give you a little morning and night regimen.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, great. I mean, all total, probably for each of them was like $45, for a little morning and night regimen for little bottles. And so I wrapped that up, and that's pretty much like all they got. Like they don't want anything. And then I got them each a scarf. And they each got a mug. One of the mugs, full disclosure, was from Goodwill. It had a C on it. It was 49 cents. So this is not like, there's no extravagance going on here. So they open up the face stuff, and they open them at the same time, and they both look at me and they're like, yeah, no. And this is Mom, we would never use this. Like both of them are like, this is, oh yeah. So I don't think I'm postmenopausal. I don't know what I am. I look at them and I start crying.
No.
I start crying.
You cried?
I don't know why. I cried. Like, I don't know why. Like, it's fine. It's fine that they didn't want it. And I know better. They wanted vitamin E oil. That's all they wanted.
They didn't want like this customized thing. Oh, no, I think they shouldn't knock it till they try it, guys. I'm going to send them both text messages.
What's wrong with you two?
Yes.
No, they're both. I mean, when I say they're minimalist, Elizabeth.
Yeah.
Like, it's extreme. One even more than the other. One of my sons, I won't name him, doesn't even have a bed.
It's Gar, isn't it?
Okay. No, it's Campbell. Campbell doesn't have a bed. So, and I knew better.
So what does he sleep on? Like a mat or something? Or like in a bag? Like a sleeping bag.
He sleeps on a
not mat. Like a paper bag.
Like on a
okay.
He sleeps on like a small it's from a Japanese
company, I was gonna say this sounds like very Japanese chic to me.
Yeah, like a small mat.
Okay.
It's smaller than a twin bed.
Okay, well.
And he was kind enough to buy two in case I ever came to visit him. I have a mat waiting for me. So they rejected the personalized skincare, but the reaction was so weird to cry about that. Like I went, and I didn't do it in front of him. I wwent downstairs. I'm like, oh, I'm going to heat up my tea. And then I started crying. And of course they know.
Yeah.
And Gar comes down and he gives me a big hug. He's like, Mom, you have to know, like you have to stop. You just have to stop. There's nothing we need. There's nothing we want. And it's like, okay. So I'm sending them each a thing of Burt's Bees vitamin E oil because that's really all they asked for. And I should have listened. I mean,
and then what did you do with the other oils? Like what's happening with those? I hope you and Ian are having like spa night on vacay with those oils.
Yeah, it's going to be all over my face for the next year and a half. So anyway, so
I know
what kind of children you raise, and it's fine. I mean, it's going to be very, cheap going forward. That's fine. They have no demands. So
it is,
but it was a very
the
weird
gift thing is interesting. Yeah, because that is a dynamic. Like minimalism, I like too. I don't know. I always wonder if you can just do like food things then, because then it's like consumable. And then it's, I mean, who doesn't like that? Like a little treat or like booze or like, a good olive oil or something. I mean, they're always going to use up that, and then they won't feel like it's it's this whole thing, but you still get to like pick out something nice. I'm going to think of some good ideas for next year.
Yeah, I think, and that's what I did like with and that's what we've always done with their stockings. It's like they get a banana, they get some clementines, they get,
Jeez, this is unbelievable. These boys, he sleeps on a mat and he gets a banana.
I love, you know how you don't really realize how weird your family is until like you have to interface with the world. I'm having that moment right now. That my family and my nest is very weird. I didn't know a banana was funny, but now that you're laughing, I kind of see that it is. Okay, that's my Christmas. They got a banana. They ate it.
Okay, that's just very funny. I'm just imagining this whole thing. If I would put a banana in my kids' stockings and they'd be like, there's a bunch of them on the counter right now. Like, why would we want it in here? Oh my gosh. That is the funniest thing. That is the hardest I've laughed. That's my Christmas laughter.
Oh my God. Okay.
I have tears shooting out of my eyes. Oh my gosh, that was very funny. I just got this vision of Campbell sleeping on a mat and taking like a, hopefully perfectly ripe banana out of the stocking and then being happy.
Yeah, simple needs. Kids have simple needs.
Oh my gosh, you are so funny. Listen, that sounds nice. I will tell you that idea of minimalism sounds very appealing, as I did freak out yesterday about just like stuff everywhere. There's stuff everywhere in our house. And the day after Christmas, I take down the tree, like it's out of the house. It's gots to go.
Good for you.
Because I just like need the real estate back. And we got this really pretty flocked tree accidentally because there were no trees left, and so we had to get the most expensive flocked tree that was available. And
oh my God.
And that meant it left like this white stuff and glitter all over. I mean, I was just vacuuming and vacuuming and vacuuming. It was everywhere. But every moment that goes past, I'm just looking around going like, what else can get out of this house? Like, what else can get out of here? But maybe the opposite extreme is not exactly what I want either.
Well, as we are, my Christmas tree came from the grocery store and it was on clearance and it was $10.
That's great.
Okay.
I think that's great.
It was only 2 feet tall though.
Oh my gosh, that is so funny. That is so funny. All right, Marjorie. Well, listen, that was the best laugh I've had in a long time, and I need you to get back to your cruise. You've got to roll.
Oh my God,
the cruise.
Well, keep your eye out for your gift from me.
I will.
It might be it might be a banana. You never know.
I heard Ian in the background. That was very, very funny.
Oh, could you hear him? He was sleeping, and when we were laughing, he thought I was crying.
Again, about the oil. No, this time we were laughing about the banana.
Oh my God.
Oh my gosh, Marjorie. So good. Okay, so listen, you have a wonderful time. I think we'll probably take next week off then, huh?
I'll be home.
Oh, you'll be home.
Talk again.
Okay, good.
I'll be home so we can talk again and have more laughs about the crazy life I'm leading. But it's going to be a happy new year.
It really is.
Happy new year. 2022 is going to be fabulous.
It is. It is.
I'm holding out a lot of hope.
I think and you got to look at all the good. There's good everywhere. You can find the good, or you can focus on the bad. You have to just make the choice. I don't know. And you can do one at 10 a.m. and a different one at 1 p.m. However you want to live.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
I love it. All right. If you're enjoying this podcast, please subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. Give us a review at Apple Podcasts. We hope you laughed along with us, and find us on Facebook and Instagram at Best of the Nest. We are the podcast that brings you home.
Bye, sweetie.
Susan, it's so great to finally be able to get together again.
Oh, it sure is. And I really appreciate you picking up the bill.
I'm happy to. I've got the extra cash. Since we've all been driving so much more again, I've been using Get Upside, the free gas app that pays you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get paid cash when you buy gas with the Get Upside app?
Yes, up to 25 cents a gallon. Cash back every time I buy gas.
Does that actually add up to anything?
Some months I make $200 to $300.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the free Get Upside app now.
Download the free Get Upside app now in the App Store or Google Play to save up to 25 cents a gallon when you buy gas. Use promo code MONEY for a 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's up to 50 cents a gallon on your next fill-up. You can cash out anytime to PayPal or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Get Upside app and use promo code MONEY for a 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code MONEY.